お前はわしには勝てん。愛する男のために磨き上げたこのナイスボディにはの。
This is Ashley with WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 anime characters who got ripped.
Let's go! Let's go! The clock is ticking and 10 months will be over before you know it! Don't you give up! It's time to go beyond!
Abu! まだ加速しよる。さあ、本間も嫌でこいつ。昨日女性は誰だよ。
For this list, we'll be looking at the guys and gals in the anime scene who took to the gym hard, going from wimpy to absolute units. Which magnificent set of animated muscles speaks to you? Let us know in the comments, and as always, you can catch me on Twitter at AshJBo, so head over there, give me a follow, and let me know which anime list you want to see next. Number 20, Hajime Nagumo, Ari Fureta from Commonplace to World's Strongest. Look, if you get yeeted into an abyss filled with monsters, your only choices are to man up or become something's lunch.
とにかく早く地上に戻らなきゃ。上に続く階段を探そう。
In spite of his meekness, the recent sting of betrayal forced Hajime to go through one hell of an edgelord shift.
相棒に名前をつけてやらないとな。そう、こいつの名はドンナーだ。
Not only did he fashion himself a variety of weapons and replacement ligaments made of magical metal, but by the time he actually crawled out of the CGI hellhole, he was looking pretty toned. Maybe he forewent all future smiles in exchange for a leaner figure.
なぜ下なめずりする？なんだその笑いは？俺に何かしたのか？てか下なめずりするな！
Number 19, Van Flyheit, Zoid's Chaotic Sentry. All throughout Chaotic Sentry, Van was your typical spirited youth who somehow found himself taking control of a giant robot, before being thrust to the forefront of a war.
There's no way a kid like that could control it properly. We'll see about that.
Basically the Amuro treatment. While he and his mechanical Liger tore through Death Sora without having to really buff up, by the time Guardian Force came around, Van had already gone through quite the growth spurt. Not only did he double in height over the space of 2 years, but made some time outside of the cockpit to work on his core. Something he's obviously very proud of, given how his uniform practically screams, "Look at these abs." Number 18, Izumida, Yowamushi Pedal.
ごめん、ユキ。これ以上はもう。
じゃあ先に行くからな。
While bicycle racing isn't something you can excel at with an unfit body, the ace of Hakone Academy's elite cycling club took things to the next level, going out of his way to craft the so-called perfect body for the Inter-High tournament. Izumida went all in on his weight training.
僕はトレーニングを重ねた。福富さんに言われた通り、自転車に乗ることなく、ただひたすらに。
While it sacrificed performance, in exchange it gifted him with his now iconic set of abs, something he's so thrilled about that he started giving them names. Hey, if you've got it, you might as well flaunt it.
Abu! まだ加速しよる。さあ、本間も嫌でこいつ。
Number 17, Romeo Conbolt, Fairy Tail. Starting off as Natsu's one and only fan, Romeo was about as irrelevant a side character as you could get. After all, he was the son of a decent but equally forgettable character in the form of Mako, so it's not like we expected much from him. As it happens, the 7 years Natsu and the gang were sealed away really did a number on Romeo. Not only did he replicate the Salamander's spirit, but also his training too. By the time the OG cast make their grand return, Romeo's got a six-pack and everything.
俺は戦うぞ。このままじゃ、フェアリーテールの名折れだ。
Romeo! あのバカ!
Number 16, Luffy, One Piece. We won't pretend that the Straw Hat Captain wasn't shredded. He may have started his adventure on the assuming side, but come the 2-year time skip, it was clear the man had been putting in the efforts. We thought that would be the end of his buffness, but it turns out Wano has a way of bringing about a pirate's inner savage. His time in prison not only taught Luffy how to use a new form of haki, but bulked him up so much that if this keeps on, Zoro is going to have some competition. Number 15, Jack Hanma, Baki franchise.
There he was, all 2 pounds of him, striking a punching bag like there was no tomorrow.
When he was on experimental drugs, the son of the ogre was a hulking mass of muscles that nearly wiped the floor with his younger brother, but was nonetheless defeated and left as a shell of a man.
It took me days for those scrawny arms to become mammoth hooks of muscle.
So, what did he do? Went under the knife until he ended up as the largest fighter of them all. Jack is staggering in his height and strength, packing enough punch to easily put down a death row convict and the offspring of Muhammad Ali. He even eats the bones in T-bone steaks. Bloody hell. Number 14, Akira Fudo, Devilman Crybaby. Deep down, this unfortunate soul will always be a softie, unafraid to cry waterfalls and constantly striving to do the right thing. It's just that after merging with the demon Amon, Akira's Chad switch was permanently flipped. With his transformation into a hybrid, Akira's human body got a major upgrade, muscular enough to not only rip apart any demon he came across, but also invented one of the craziest runs we've ever seen. It's just a shame that it also turned him into a hormonal disaster. Number 13, Noi, Dorohedoro. She makes a living as an enforcer that can split apart skulls with her bare hands, and yet she's still simp-worthy. During her younger years, Noi was your conventional, stick-thin sorcerer who had aspirations of being transformed into a demon. At least until she became buddies with Shin, deciding she'd be much happier ripping apart people by his side. From there, it was goodbye to Devil Princess, hello Goliath of our dreams. Muscular yet ravishing in every conceivable way. If her looks don't slay you, then her fists bloody well will. Number 12, Kenichi Shiroma, Kenichi, the mightiest disciple. It was sort of impossible for Kenichi to not become a beast. He may have started off as a weakling and hounded by bullies, but after meeting his future wifey, he became the student of 6 martial arts masters. Their intense training combined with the clashes with the sinister fighters of the Yomi organization were either going to break him or turn him into a fighting machine on an unparalleled level. Able to switch between styles at will, Kenichi's crash course in numerous disciplines left him with an in-depth knowledge of how to tear a person apart, with a body to match. Number 11, Asta, Black Clover. Being without magic in a world where magic is everything. No sweat, just train your ass off until you're the buffest member of the Black Bulls and can wipe out most mages with just one swing. Forced to cater for his inability to channel magic, Asta's fitness regimen has ensured that despite being on the short side, he's got muscles to spare, ones capable of wielding such gargantuan weapons such as the Demon Slayer sword.
今見てみろよノエル回復したらさらに筋肉が強くなった気がする
And as if he wasn't buff enough, Asta then went the extra mile during his 6-month training at the Heart Kingdom. Seriously, how much buffer can Asta get at this point?
Dama! Osha!
Number 10, Ippo. Hajime no Ippo franchise. Bullied all his life and lacking any form of self-confidence, Ippo longed to know what it would feel like to be strong.
Hey, don't be looking at me like that!
As chance would have it, he ended up finding the answer after becoming embroiled in the art of boxing. Not only did he take to the sport like a moth to flame, but thanks to his innocent passion, ended up becoming the Japanese featherweight champion.
Ippo, now!
As you can imagine, you can't reach that status without getting into shape. And thanks to some intense training camps, Ippo soon found himself with the body of a tank. You do not want to be on the receiving end of one of his signature jabs. Number 9, Rigurd. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. When we first encountered this elderly goblin, he was practically knocking on death's door.
ようこそお客人。私はこの村の村長をさせていただいております。
はい、どうもよろしく。
The dude had seen one too many winters if you get what we mean. At least until he struck up a friendship with an all-powerful slime who decided to give the Giza a name, which in this world constitutes an automatic evolution.
きの女性は誰だよ
And just like that, Rigurd went from grandpa to daddy. Not sure why he was the one who ended up getting all the muscles compared to the younger males among his tribe, but who cares? The old coot's got his flair back. Watch out, ladies.
名持ちの魔物になるということ、それは魔物としての格を上げ、進化をもたらすのです。
Number 8, Masamune Makabe. Masamune-kun's revenge. The younger years of your life can be a gauntlet of awkwardness and cruelty, leaving many hearts broken along the way.
あんたなんか好きにならないわよ。探索のくせに。
Masamune is one such victim, who after getting cruelly rejected by the girl of his dreams and labeled as Piggy, decided to dedicate his life to getting revenge.
名付けてデッド・オア・ラブ作戦
How so? By going from chubby to hubby with the sole intention of winning the heart of the girl who ruined his life, and then breaking her heart in an equally brutal fashion. Sure, it's not the healthiest reason for someone to go on a diet, but you can't argue with the results.
Yes.
Number 7, Usopp. One Piece. Despite having a scrawny figure, a habit for telling tall tales, and the occasional bout of cowardice, deep down we all knew this member of the Straw Hats had the heart of a lion.
It's go time, brave Usopp pirates! We do have a village to protect! Let's go, men! Move out!
He just needed a little encouragement to bring it out. In Oda's world, that apparently translates to 2 years training on an island filled with killer plants and bugs.
絶対この島から出なきゃなんねんだ
It might sound unorthodox, but the proof is in the pudding. Just look at how jacked this guy got. Good on you, Soga King.
おめえとチョッパーとの弱小トリオは卒業だ何が起きてももう動じねえそんな戦士になったのさ
Number 6, Saitama. One Punch Man. Sure, once upon a time he looked like an average dork with a head full of hair, but as we all know, even a minor love tap from his fist spells doom for anyone caught at the end of it.
What's this? Are you sure you don't want to run away?
A shame too, since if any of them actually managed to tear through his superhero getup, they'd actually see that Saitama is shredded. Not sure if it's down to those 100 sit-ups that he likes to brag about, but we're pretty sure all those other idiots in the Hero Association would stop giving him grief if they took a gander at what he was packing.
I'm leaving.
Number 5, Goku, Dragon Ball. Way before he was rocking blue hair and taking on other universes in tournaments, Goku was nothing more than a chubby little kid with a tail who likes to fly on a magic cloud.
There! That'll teach you to try to take my fish, sneaking up on me like that! Well, I'm ready for you this time. Why don't you come out of your shell and fight?
Sure, he knocked down a few Demon Kings and occasionally transformed into a giant killer ape, but for the most part, he was an adorable chubster.
I sure hope my power pole's still out here. Ow!
And then puberty hit. Hard. By the time it came for his battle against Piccolo, Goku was practically the spitting image of the Saiyan we've all come to know and love. Guess when you live and breathe training, it starts to show after a while. Number 4, Deku, My Hero Academia. We've all been there, the nerdy beanpole that dreams of one day becoming the greatest hero in the world, saving lives with a smile, and carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders.
I'm a normal kid without any powers. Could I ever hope to be someone like you?
While Deku over here is certainly on his way to making that dream a reality, turns out it requires way more exercise than you'd expect. In order to fully realize the power of One for All, he had to push his body to its limits so that it wouldn't explode when busting out all those smashes.
Let's go! Let's go! The clock is ticking and 10 months will be over before you know it! Don't you give up! It's time to go beyond!
With a strict regiment provided by All Might, it wasn't long before the Uber Nerd had a body that anyone would want a piece of. Ain't that right, Uraraka? Number 3, Mikasa Ackerman, Attack on Titan. You really don't know how lucky you are, do you, Eren?
あったかい。
ミカサ、私たちの家で一緒に暮らそう。
While she may have started out as the meekest girl around, tragedy and time turned Mikasa into both a beautiful young woman and one of the deadliest Titan killers ever to walk the earth. As you can imagine, that takes work, since her sole goal in life is to protect Eren and butcher anyone who would threaten him. Mikasa had a lot of time on her hands, dedicated to turning her body into a tool of destruction. Given the amount of muscle she's got tucked away under that Survey Corps uniform, we'd say she's well on track. Number 2, Brock, Pokemon. We're not joking here. Brock, the Brock, Lord of Drying Pans, jelly-filled donuts, and rejections.
Hey, I know. I'll use my trusty frying pan as a drying pan.
Turned out that while Ash was off draining the souls of other Pokemon trainers to eternally remain 10 years old, the Rock Master was hitting the weights. Don't believe us? Just check out his cameo in Sun and Moon.
I'm not called Brock the Rock for nothing, you know!
Whew. If the Nurse Joys and Officer Jennys of the world knew that he had that many boulder badges under his shirt, they might have actually agreed to go to dinner with him. Hang in there, Brock. Maybe one day you'll get your onyx polished.
That was great work, Steelix. Thanks.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Jonathan Jostar, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Phantom Blood. What kind of crazed Victorian diet was this guy on, and where can we get some? Seriously, in the space of 7 years, the original JoJo went from your average whippersnapper to the bulkiest rugby player ever seen.
Jostar, a gentle giant at 195 centimeters, sprint for the try zone with a spirited roar!
Is that even biologically possible? The dude didn't even reach 20 before he had shoulders wider than Windsor and a neckline sharp enough to cleave through diamonds.
Lifting this rock is nothing.
That's incredible!
No other Jostar descendant has come close to measuring up to Jonathan's immeasurable bulk, and likely never will. Seriously, the longer you look, the bigger he seems to get.
Sunlight Yellow Overdrive! No!
He's done it!
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.